We've been reporting on Fast and Furious for 6 years. That's right. Before we knew the name of the secret federal program to train Los Zetas at Fort Benning, Georgia, then have them engage in a fake defection, forming their own border drug cartel, Shelly Castile and many other sources here in Texas, Shelly Castile, of course, retired DEA agent, had said that a coming war over narcotics and the $500 billion coming in a year, most of it through Mexico, heroin and cocaine, that there would be a war over that $500 billion. And that, well, just 3 years ago, that Los Zetas had tried to recruit him to train people near the King Ranch down by Kingsville, Texas. And now, it's all happened. And at first, ATF agents began to blow the whistle about the fact that they were basically ordering gun shops to let certain key people come in and buy masses of firearms to then take them into Mexico. Now we've learned, and this has come out in federal court in Chicago, it's been reported on by the Chicago Tribune and the El Paso Times. Of course, Paul Watson saw it in the Federal Record months ago before they even covered it. Proud of our work at PrisonPlanet.com and Infowars.com. Now it has come out that indeed they were shipping the guns directly to the drug cartels, not just in Mexico, but in Miami, Florida, Chicago, Illinois, Los Angeles, California, and other cities. And how did all this happen? The rats began to bite at each other. The head of the ATF, 3 months ago, was caught perjuring himself before Congress, and ATF agents who he was hanging out to dry released the orders, the documents, the memos, and the emails ordering them to do this. He was trying to deny it. Then he came out and said, okay, I was ordered to by Eric Holder, the head of the Justice Department, the Attorney General. And then he said, here's more documents. Don't blame me. The FBI and DEA were involved. Well, now that's all mainstream news. DEA, FBI, ATF shipping guns to Honduras, to Mexico, and to drug gangs in major cities, major distribution points, Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles, and now it's coming out that the same thing was going on in areas of New Mexico, Texas. We're learning more every day. What a window into the fact that this federal government is gangster at the top and has put its gangsters in most of the high-level and mid-level positions and are now trying to purge good people. Now, it gives me some faith in America that we can still turn this around, that it was ATF agents, 5 of them, some of them mid-level, senior in their area, that said, we're not going to be part of this, and leaked the information that went public. They were either fired or demoted. And, of course, it came out 2 weeks ago, as the Attorney General tries to cover this up, that the supervisors that blocked the information and threatened reprisals, they, of course, the LA Times reported, have now been given raises and elevated to the national level with cush death jobs now. So, this is a criminal mafia that, A, wanted to get guns to cartels trained by the Pentagon to consolidate the flow of drugs into the United States through Mexico. And also out of Central and South America, we now learn. That's mainstream news. A month ago came out. Now, continuing. Domestically, it had the added goodie of blaming the Second Amendment. And I saw Holder 2 years ago saying, we've got to pass gun laws, we've got to ban assault weapons, we've got to restrict buying more than one gun because of the violence in Mexico. And then even after he got caught, he rolled out, as you know, about a month and a half ago, and went ahead and said, I don't need a stinking law. Congress wouldn't pass this law. They tried to pass it. So now in 4 states, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, wait, is Nevada involved? Is it 5? Oh, it's 4. In those 4 states, they now outside of law, do whatever the ATF says. And they're going to people that go in and buy a high-powered rifle or buy 1,000 rounds of ammo. I see in the news every day that they're then being ATF visited or even SWAT teamed, and I'll see it in the news. Man had 27 guns and 4,000 rounds of ammo, and they'll have neighbors saying, it's so frightening. And it's, the retired veteran has been arrested. In fact, I was mailed one of these. Drew pointed it out to me this morning. The Orleans County Record out of Massachusetts, right up there on our northern border. And it says, firearms seized. And it says, ATF take guns from former police officer who has no criminal record, retired. He ran for sheriff, almost won but didn't win, Mr. Chiotti. And he's been a gun dealer for many years. That's why he quit being a cop, so he can make money and sell guns. He's a registered federal firearms dealer. And they say right here they confiscated his firearms, and they say there's no charges, and that they're just taking them, and that's the end of it. So we're going to